This pumpkin gnocchi recipe will become your new favorite weeknight meal. It only takes 4 ingredients, it's really easy to make, and some may say it's even better than potato or ricotta gnocchi. Let's get into it.
You'll need 3 cups, 360 grams of tipo 00 flour, but you can also use plain or all-purpose flour. Pour your flour out onto your work surface and then make a divot into your flour to create a well. You want to add 1 can, 14 ounces, 425 grams, or 2 cups of plain pumpkin puree. Add 2 eggs to your pumpkin and start whisking with a fork. Once the egg yolks have broken up, add in about a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. This is optional but adds a really nice hint of flavor to the dish. Continue whisking your egg and your pumpkin until it's completely combined, and then slowly start to introduce some of the flour from the inside of the well. Once the dough becomes too hard to work with your fork, bring the rest of the flour in with your hands and work everything together. If your dough is very sticky, you may need to add a little bit of extra flour while you're kneading the dough. I like to use a bread scraper to help work my dough and make sure nothing is sticking to my work surface. I've added approximately an extra 1/2 cup of flour.
The flour measurement is a baseline. Start with my lowest amount and then slowly add more as you need it to get the right consistency of the dough.
Once the dough has become mostly a cohesive color and it holds together really well, we can form our gnocchi. I'm going to start with a 1/4 of the dough. Dust your work surface with flour and roll your piece of dough into a long log. I find the easiest way to do this and not flatten my roll is push and provide pressure on the way out and then gently roll back with your fingertips with no pressure. If your log gets too long, cut it in half and work with each half individually. Slice your gnocchi into 1 to 2 centimeter pieces, however big you want them. You can leave your gnocchi in these pillows without any indentations and they'll be delicious. The easiest way to shape them is by pressing your finger into the center of the gnocchi. That creates a little divot to hold the sauce. Roll your gnocchi down the back of a fork to get those traditional lines. Or I have a gnocchi paddle that I use and I roll my gnocchi down that. It tends to lengthen out the gnocchi just slightly, but it gives really beautiful ridges. But since these are pumpkin gnocchi, I'm going to make mine into pumpkins. Start by rolling the gnocchi into a ball in the palm of your hand. With the back of the knife, gently press down and make those pumpkin lines. You'll want to make about 6 indentations per gnocchi. Make a small hole in the top of your pumpkin gnocchi. Place your formed gnocchi on a baking tray. I like to line mine with parchment and extra flour so that they don't stick.
Then I pop them in the freezer, and once they're frozen, into a Ziploc bag. They last for at least 3 months in the freezer, although I can guarantee you'll eat them long before then. I'm going to throw together a quick brown butter sage sauce for my gnocchi, but this would be so dreamy with a creamy gorgonzola sauce, or absolutely perfect with a tomato sauce as well.
To cook your gnocchi, drop them into a pot with vigorously boiling water. Make sure you've salted the water because we haven't added any salt to the gnocchi. Give them a gentle stir to make sure they don't stick to the bottom. I'm creating a little brown butter sage sauce to transfer my gnocchi to when they're done cooking. Cook this on medium-high heat until those milk solids start to brown in the pan. If you find your butter is becoming too brown and your gnocchi hasn't completed cooking, add a little bit of the cooking water to the brown butter sauce. Once the gnocchi have floated to the top of the pan, you're ready to transfer them to your sauce. I like to leave them in the pan for about a minute or 2 to get a little bit crispy on the bottom and make sure they're completely coated with the butter. I'm sticking a sunflower seed in the top of each pumpkin. This is optional, but it looks really cute. Top it with a little more of your sauce and some finely grated Parmigiano Reggiano cheese. And they're ready to eat. Buon appetito!
If you're looking for another great gnocchi recipe, you have to try my ricotta gnocchi. Thank you to all my members and thanks to everyone for watching. I'll see you next time.